Response video to Nick. We'll see if he accepts it or responds to it or whatever. But yeah, it's just a counter argument to his another one of his videos where he's basically saying, well, we're all going to have to endure 20 horrible years of a dead and crushed economy, and humans are going to have to lower their expectations, and we're all going to have to eat like mealworms and stuff and gruel and like bathe in mud, and well, that ain't so bad, but anyway, just because that's the way it is. Can't be any other way. That's the only way the world can be. It's the only way the future can be. There's no way out of this horror without there being horror. This horrible economy means people must die, and people must eat shit and die, and well, whatever. It's just such a pile of crap. I've said it before, but we could take 99% of the assets that the richest 10% of the people in the world have, and they wouldn't even miss the money. Their lifestyle fundamentally wouldn't change. It wouldn't be death. It wouldn't be poverty. It wouldn't be starvation. They wouldn't have to eat apple cores. No real big problem. They could still live in their fancy houses and heat their swimming pools and live pretty damn good. No big sweat. Let's just say the top 5%. And yeah, no big sacrifice. Okay, no big sacrifice. No horror, no imminent death, no shivering in the cold, none of that crap. Okay, no disease, no pestilence, none of that. Okay, minor inconvenience. And that money would be more than enough money to clean up this entire mess, keep the wheels would continue to could continue to roll. We could have our technology, we could have our energy efficiency we could invest in, we can fix our bridges and our roads, and we can pay our social security, and we could even probably pay some excessive pensions. But we should get rid of those too, just because we're cleaning house. We should clean house of those too. But yeah, we can get out of this so easily. No, not even messy hair. I mean, really easy. No sweat at all for any human being. None. No real sweat. Get it? Um, and no, we're going to choose to do it the horrible way. It's just going to be a choice because the other choice is there. We just say no. We're not going to play the you're worth 100 million times some other human being. You're more valuable. You're 100 million times more human than the rest of the human beings on Earth kind of crap. And we certainly don't need to play the you're born to the rich people, so you're a rich person bullshit. And so, yes, some rich people might have to go to work in the future, like the rest of the human race. They might have to work like the rest of the human race. Wouldn't that be horrible? And they might actually have to use their Harvard education to do something productive besides play golf, or mini putt on their yacht. Yeah, no more of that maybe. Oh, isn't that a shame? But that's it, and the problem is fixed. It's solved. The money goes back to the people who made it in the first place, who were the productive engine that made the money in the first place, the workers. That's where we put the money back, the incentives back in front of. And we put the prices of things back to where they should be relative to work. All right, because we flood the market with all these commodities that these bastards have strapped away as investments. And the made required the obligation that they produce something called a profit. The hell with that. All corporations need is somebody competent to run them. They don't need owners. It really isn't. It isn't brain surgery. Every corporation is run that way right now. But the people ripping the biggest hunk of the profits are people who don't do anything. They have no hands-on, day-to-day. They don't do anything in the company. They don't do anything to make it work. No, people they have hired to make it work. So pay them, not the millionaires and the billionaires. But anyway, it's it's stupid to suggest that there's some reality to what's going to happen. Some reality to the idea that there's no option, that somehow we've exhausted something, or we spent it, or we ruined it, or we destroyed it. No, it's all still here. The economy is here. And the only thing that's going to destroy it is rich people trying to find safe havens for their money, who have no willingness to put up with anything that's not going to return a profit to them. And that's that simple. They're going to close the world down because it's not going to make money. And that's the only reason. It's not going to give them a profit. And that's why they're going to let it happen. And we don't have to live first under their control, and second under their irresponsible control. So yeah, Nick, there's an alternative. And if you're not going to point it out, then I'll point it out. And the alternative is just to get rational and take back what we shouldn't have given away in the first place. We shouldn't have given the richest people in the world tax breaks 20 years ago. We shouldn't have allowed them to deficit spend and essentially make a profit from the deficit, to actually buy the debt they created by not paying their taxes. What sense does that make? None whatsoever. So yeah, that was the mistake. We allowed these people to take control of our economy, and all we have to do is take that control back. And they can keep some of their excess. They can keep their fancy lifestyle, but they can't keep their control over the rest of us. And that's hardly a horrible thieving from anybody. It's a long way from a horrible crime. It's not a Holocaust. It's not a massacre. It's not a huge, giant deprivation imposed by a horrible draconian force. It's none of those things. It's simply human beings acknowledging that civilization is not made through billionaires. It's made through people who do work, productive work. And all we have to do is say those words, and the game is over, and we can quit messing around, quit fucking this thing up, and quit killing people for no goddamn good reason. I mean, this is just so stupid. We are going to allow horror to take place for no good reason, merely to preserve some kind of birthright notion that somehow people are entitled to head starts in the race of life. I mean, it's silly, just fucking silly. So yeah, I think that's enough said. Short and sweet. It wasn't that short, but it wasn't that sweet. It is what it is. So, but it just doesn't have to be bad news. We can fix this thing tomorrow. We can fix it. It's done. It's not a problem. No pain. Complete gain. We can do it. And all we have to do is say, yeah, let's do that. And we have to just get people to say those words. Yeah, let's do that. Let's fix it. And it's over. It's done. The threat is gone. It's just so stupid.